Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Unarmored Talk podcast. We have another amazing guest today, Deidre Calcoate. She is a certified transformational leadership coach. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
You guys know the deal. This is unscripted, it's unarmored. She's also an entrepreneur, and she is a brain spotting practitioner. We're going to get into that one. Deidre, yay! I don't have the little fancy buttons that you hit, clap. Yay! Welcome to Unarmored Talk podcast.
Mario, thank you so much for inviting me here. I am so honored to be a guest on your show.
No, thank you so much. You and I have been going back and forth talking, that is, on a virtual platform for about a month or so. But Deidre, I feel like I've known you. I was born in 1920, so I feel like I've known you for years.
Same year I was born. Hey.
So can you tell our listeners and viewers just a little bit about yourself?
And I'll tell you, Mario, I say that my life and my career has mirrored each other. I was a late discovery adoptee. I didn't know I was adopted. My mother never told me. So I grew up not knowing who I was. Found out from a boyfriend who said, I'd love to marry you, but I don't know who you are. I love you, but I can't marry you. And that's how I really found out. But grew up to I have two younger sisters in my adoptive family, but I was the 9th of 10 in my birth family and the only one given up for adoption.
The only one, huh?
The only one.
Shoot, we could do an episode on that too in the future.
Anytime, I'd love to. It is very important.
Yeah, we will. We
yes,
will.
Thank you.
And then look at you today.
Look at me, and I can say somebody, that's I've been telling my story, and one of the things in the end when I knew I had healed was when I could say, somebody is proud of me.
Right.
Somebody. It may not be who I think it is, but somebody. I have turned out to be okay. And so I talk, and I'm both of my parents, both mothers, birth and adoptive, are on the other side. They've made their transition. So you should hear me at night. See there, Mama, I did it.
Right. Hey, look at me. Look at
me now.
Look at me now. I'm going to drop the mic. Matter of fact, where's my microphone? If you guys are watching, I got a mic. Look, check this out. I'm going to drop. Look at it.
Drop the mic.
Yeah. So if you're listening, you better go on the YouTube channel, check out how the mic got dropped in support of Deidre.
And let me tell you, I've spent my life I lived in Chicago, but we moved to Arizona. My husband was a Vietnam vet. And we moved to Arizona because he had severe cluster headaches. And we moved here so that we could be in a drier climate. He was a police officer in Tucson, and we finally moved to Phoenix to get better support for him. He got hepatitis C during his time in Vietnam. And so we after had an adopted child that we got at 10 days old. And after she almost was 18, he decided he couldn't be in the marriage anymore. And part of that was because of trauma. And so he has made his transition. But before that, we used to talk all the time about what life had brought us and where it had brought us. And I thank him all the time, because without him, I would not have done some of the things that I have done.
Right.
I became a life coach. I became a suicide interventionist because he had attempted suicide, and I just didn't handle it well until I became a suicide interventionist.
Right.
And then my own trauma this summer with COVID during the pandemic, I had anxiety higher than I've ever had before, and decided it was time for me, as Jay Shetty says, leave my 9 to 5.
Right. Yeah.
Like 24/7. And I've been taking classes, and I've been personal development and inner child work. And then I came upon Brainspotting.
Brainspotting. And thank you for that amazing less than 5-minute journey that as you're telling me a little bit about yourself, I'm thinking about 15 episodes that I could produce, Deidre. So I might have to 1099 you. And but you mentioned brain spotting. We're going to jump right into this topic in how brain spotting help you out of everything you just mentioned and all the real life experiences, how brain spotting helped you identify things you never even thought about that was really holding, I use the cliche, holding you back in life. So before we get into the topic, you do have something to offer our listeners and viewers, right?
I sure do. I
Yeah.
would love for people to know more about brain spotting, and I would like to give at 3 people in your audience, the first 3
First
that
three.
talk with you and let us know. I would love to give complimentary sessions on brain spotting.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, the first 3 listeners or viewers who email me at host@unarmoredtalk.com. That's host@unarmoredtalk.com. The first 3, I will connect you with Deidre Calcoate so you can get a free session on brain spotting. And of course, I'm going to also get mine done here soon. But this is great. Well, let's get right into the topic. So here you are, adopted late in life, if you will. Have this man go, I can't marry you. Why can't you marry me? I love you. Well, here's an issue. I don't know who you are. Husband does a Vietnam tour and welcome back home, and God bless him. Thanks for your service with him. And all of this stuff in your life, in your brain. And what did brain spotting reveal to Miss Deidre Calcoate? Let's
Man, oh
talk about it.
man, it has revealed so very much. And so I'm going to tell the story, and then if it's okay with you, I'd like to go back and talk about the brain a little bit, but let me tell the story.
Absolutely.
So I took brain spotting. It's a class, and I took it online, and you brain spot with other people. And we use what we call a pointer to connect to the inner part of the brain. And so, of course, I'm like, when the class comes and they say, we want anybody who wants to volunteer. Deidre don't have good sense. So, of course, her first thing is, yeah, I'll go first.
Right,
Lord
right.
mercy. And I did. And what I brain spotted was the issue. They asked me what was the issue. And the issue was, how do I release things that no longer serve me? And what I meant by that is I keep things that I'm never going to wear, things that I'm never going to use. And I want to start to purge those things so that my space is my space, not what my mother gave me, not what my grandmother gave me, not what my mother-in-law gave me.
So you struggle with getting rid of things in your house or whatever that you had some type of emotional connection to.
Correct.
Okay.
That I thought I had an emotional connection. I thought those things made me closer to those people. And after brain spotting the tears and the thoughts, I realized they love me and I love them. And no matter what, I don't need those things to remind me of that. I have the memories, I have the pictures, I have the love, and I love to laugh. And so I can hear them in my head. And Mario, since then, it's been amazing how much I have gotten rid of just old stuff that could be used by others and some can't. Rugs that I've not used in years. So it's not just the things that have been given to me by the people that I love, but other things my brain has processed. You don't have to have all of these things. When I go to the grocery store, you would think I am shopping for 5 and I am shopping for 2. My brain has started to think about that. Do you really need another apple? Have you eaten the ones that you have? Are you coming back to the store? So I think about those things, and it really does help the processing of what I need. And people can learn to process for themselves, not trauma. I don't suggest that. I suggest people learn to brain spot for themselves for happy points. And what I mean by that is you got a goal that you just can't meet. I brain spotted with a young man the other day, and he told me he was trying to do the pendulum when he boxes. He jumps instead of glides. Now, I don't know nothing about this, but this is what he told me. So we found a spot in him to activate, and it was in his shoulder where he felt a little different, and we brain spotted. Now, I haven't talked to him this week to see the change, but I could see him changing as we talked. I could see him jump. I could see his eye movement move. And the good thing about this is, Mario, it's so much to tell, and I get so excited. I know sometimes I'm not succinct, so I'll let you ask questions after this one. But the good thing is,
no worries.
I love this because people don't have to talk in order to heal. Imagine this is my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What brain spotting does is takes you out of your neocortex here, out of the top of your neocortex. And that's where your language is. And so it takes you deeper into your brain. And what we say is where you look affects how you feel.
Right.
And so we take you down into your mammalian and your reptilian brain and that brain stem. And that's where your emotion is. That's where other parts are. And you connect with that through activation and through our brain spotting with the pointer. And believe me, it's like magic.
Well, just listening to you, I was just, thinking about the things that I hold on to in my own obituaries, things from Marines who have passed away, just things around the house. I'm like, I can't get rid of that. I would be dishonoring that person, or so just listening to you and how you use the technique, this, the technique of brain spotting to help you reveal and realize and become aware, more self-aware of things that you're emotionally connected to, but you don't have a thoughtful reason why. So if you can just give us an example, how does it work? Like, just give us an example of how does it work?
So what happens is you in the beginning, you think of the client, the person who's coming to get brain spotting,
Okay.
thinks of an issue. It could be something major. I'll give you a great example.
Yeah.
So the person who found this is a PhD and used to do what they called EMDR, which is a process of therapy.
Okay.
So he was brain spotting with a skater, ice skater, and she could not do the triple loop for some reason. She just couldn't do it. And he had been working with her, and he found that her eyes were, as he was looking and having her follow his finger, her eyes would jump. And so he slowly had her watch that point. And although she had healed some traumas, she went deeper because now she wasn't in that neocortex. She wasn't talking, she was feeling. And do you know the trauma that came up and that she healed? She has never, ever had another issue with that triple loop.
And she probably had just my belief is she didn't have any idea what her eyes were doing.
Exactly.
Of course,
I'm sorry. And there are ways that we brain spot. They're called inside, outside window gaze spotting. Right. And so when you're talking to somebody, you're trying to recall an old thing and you look up or you look down or you look somewhere. That's gaze spotting. You're trying to connect to an old memory, right? And that's what brain spotting will do. Either the person will find the spot because they feel it, or the practitioner will find the spot because they see it. And the body may jump, or the eyes may quiver, or people close their eyes. And so when you're in a brain spotting session, I shut up. The client does the work, and I am there to hold space and to let them know that they are okay and that they can be comfortable and that I am with them, that whatever comes up is okay, we can deal with. And that's how it works. It works in that healing, that trauma that's within.
Yeah.
Imagine what this would have done for my husband, for Butch.
Right.
Had I known then, I'm like, oh,
and that leads to my next question. I mean, I know, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this is, you guys know, Unarmored Talks about a couple of minutes long, and we give you a little taste. And I know there's a lot more complexities to it. You're giving us kind of the Reader's Digest. But let's go into another question I have for you, Deidre, is when you started to realize not just the things for you, when you started to do this, what emotions did you experience when you started to reflect back on your life and started to make the choice that thing or whatever, it's not that important to me anymore? What emotions did you experience, if any?
I was so relieved. I am one of those processors. I had done some work with a coach of mine, and it's funny, he would say to me, "You make the funniest faces when you're doing that," because I'm looking and I'm thinking, where did that come from?
Mm.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. And so the emotions run the gamut, and that's okay. In one of the brain spotting sessions, as I'm watching and I look at the young lady, like the picture behind you, I saw myself in that picture as a little girl. And so I know that little girl was healing. And so the emotions come, and that's what you want. You want those emotions aren't a bad thing. Feelings aren't a bad thing.
Right.
When we stay there and don't heal them and let them fester within us and
Yeah.
be in the back of the drawer, those little capsules of trauma.
And I
And so
like,
the emotions are everywhere.
yeah, and I like how you said you got to a point where you embrace those past current emotions. I won't even say past, but I like
Yes.
how you said you didn't try to fight them, whatever they were, the depression or the fear or the relief, but how you welcomed them and through this, brain spotting session or multiple sessions. And I like that because I think that's important. And it's part of also the discussion framework of Unarmored Talk, where become more aware of your emotions, but then choose to think in an accurate way. If you could pick one emotion that you realized when you did this and you reflected back on your life, was it fear, depression, whatever, anger? Which one would it be that you were like, man, I didn't realize I was depressed or angry for all these years?
I would say it is grief.
Grief.
I didn't realize the grief that I held from even being
Mm,
adopted.
mm,
When you look at some of the things that I've been through and learning to accept and know that that was what was best for me and I'm okay. I didn't die. It gave me some things that I can support others through.
right.
You realize that I have a purpose through my pain. I realize that. And so this has been just one part of my journey, and to be able to support others in their healing so they can live their best life is amazing to me, Mario. I I was raised, my mother always told me, you lead with your heart. Stop leading with your heart. You're a D fool for leading with your heart. And now I realize I can lead with my heart and support others to lead with theirs. And it's
Yeah.
just the joy of all of it. And now this ain't easy work. Let me just be real clear. This ain't smiley all the time. I tell you, it's knocking to my knees.
This is not riding a bike with training wheels on it as an adult.
Woo, woo. But
That's easy work. You know what I mean? Hey, let me ride that bike with some training wheels on. I'm good. Not much effort.
That's right.
Not much effort.
But you got to jump. You got to go towards the fire. You've got to go towards those fears, because what's on the other side of that is what releases you, and what you see affects you. We are amazed at how our brain and our body are connected and how many thoughts we have. And again, I just want to make sure, especially for men and women who are in leadership roles, who have been in the service, who believe that the things that they have saw and done have harmed them in ways that they can't talk about. Brain spotting supports your not talking. You can heal without talking. You can heal with talking. And I'm a talker, you couldn't tell, I'm sure. But it can do it for me. And I know for men and women who have, like I have worked in child welfare and know
Right.
of children that died, people don't want to talk about that stuff. But in order for us to heal it and be the best that we're supposed to be, we've got to find a way. And that's what brain spotting will do. There are studies. Sandy Hook, brain spotting was there. They are still following up with people, and they say that it is one of the most effective therapies that helped people through Sandy Hook.
Wow. Wow. And I love how you said, you know, there's multiple ways for a human to heal. Just find a way. And brain spotting is a way that you can heal, not speaking or speaking. which that is powerful. If you have one piece of advice out of everything, Deidre, that you have experienced in your 30 years of living,
Love it.
Do I get some bonus points?
Extra.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get a 5-star on Apple Podcast for that one.
You got it. You know it.
Oh man. But looking back, if you could leave the listeners and viewers with one thing, what would be that one piece of advice and wisdom?
You know, I would tell everybody there is a better place. There is more. You can live your best life. You don't have to live in trauma. You don't have to live not knowing what your next movie is. You may be happy with everything that's going on and you want to kick it up a notch, as Emerald Lagasse says. I say, find someone you can connect with. Life has been very hard lately with the pandemic, with what's going on in the world. And nobody has to live this life alone. Birth mothers, all of those who have been in the armed services, leaders, find someone. If I'm not the one, look for someone else who can support you, because life can be good. We can do this, and you deserve to live a good life.
Absolutely, Deidre. It's been my pleasure. I am looking for my brain spotting session soon. And, I just thank you so much for everything you have done, everything you are doing. And I know this episode will definitely change and inspire one life throughout the world. That's all we go for, is one person. And you've already changed me.
Thank you. And you have changed me. I am so happy to be connected to you and your wife and the things that you are doing, Mario. Thank you so much for your service to the community as well.
Thank you so much for blessing Unarmored Talk podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I don't have the fancy button. Deidre Calcoate. God bless you all. Thank you for supporting this amazing podcast. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.